Hey guys, in this lesson we're going to be talking about inheritance. So inheritance is nothing more than just when an attribute inherits or like has the same attributes and behaviors from the other class. It inherits them, but you're not going to create two classes that have the exact same things, but you are going to inherit those behaviors from the other class without having to code them like this, without having to write all of this code. So I'm just going to show you an example right now. Here, if you are new to this channel, to understand this, you'll have to watch the previous video where we were talking about constructors. We've coded this class. And if you're starting from here, then it's obvious that you already understand some object-oriented programming. So you just want some clarity on inheritance. So I'm quickly going to explain this class. So we have a cell phone class here, and we have three attributes, which the first one is the cell phone name. Perhaps I should have just said name of cell phone, but it doesn't matter. It does actually, but I'm sorry for not doing that. So we have cell phone, and then we have color, and we have megapixel camera. So those are the three attributes of the cell phone class. And then here we have a default constructor, and down here we have a constructor, a regular constructor. I don't know how they call it. I forgot. So we have a constructor, and then we have three parameters here, which refer to these attributes down here. So if we want to alter them, or we want to change them, want to alter them. Here we have getters and setters that we are not actually using, but we have them there just in case we might need them. Anyway, here we have what we call, or we have our methods here. This one just outputs calling, and then here we have the details method, and it outputs the actual details of the cell phone that you are working with, the cell phone object that you will be using. So it's not a complicated class. Now I want to demonstrate some inheritance. So say we can have another class down here, and we can call that, since this is a cell phone, we can have another class. We can call it Android, for example. No, I'm not going to call it Android. I'm going to call it Samsung. Yeah, I'm going to call it Samsung. And now we know that a Samsung can have a name, right? So we can be Samsung Galaxy, I don't know, S12 or whatever. I don't know if that's something that exists. Yeah, it does exist. So S12, it can have a color, it can have a certain level of megapixel camera. So here we can say, instead of just writing that whole code down here, we just say extends cell phone. So now that will tell Java that we want to inherit some attributes and behaviors from cell phone. So whatever the cell phone can do, the Samsung can also do. Now, I want to go here and I want to say Samsung. I'm just going to say S1 is equal to new Samsung. And I'm going to say system out print line S1. Just want to see what's going to happen. I want to show you what's going to happen actually. So let's wait for this to run. Get rid of this guy here. So we have name is equal to null, color is equal to null, megapixel is equal to 0 MP. So it does the same thing that the cell phone class does, because it inherits all those attributes. So that's the beauty of this. And here we can add our own attributes, like what does a Samsung have? Let's say Android version that can be stored in a string. Android version, like that. And then we can have a constructor. We can say public Samsung, like that. And then in here we can have string cell phone. So that will be the cell phone name. We want it to accept 4 arguments, right? Like that string, including this guy down here, including this attribute. So we say string cell phone. What else did this one have? The color and the megapixel camera. String color int megapixel camera. So now when we do this, obviously we do not have we can't say this dot we can't say this dot cell phone like this. That won't work. We can't say this dot cell phone is equal to cell phone because we don't have that attribute within this class. It's private. As you can see here, it's private. We can't get that method like that. We can use the get method, but that's not what we want to do here. I want to show you a way in which we can get that. We can use the super keyword. This super keyword will get those attributes, and inside these as an argument, all we have to do is just pass in the name of those attributes that we want to get. Cell phone, we want to get the color, and we also want to get the megapixel camera. Just by doing that, we've done the exact same thing. And we can also, as an argument, add in this Android version because that's also one of the things we wanted to do. Just gonna put this on the next line. Android version. And then here we can say this dot Android version is equal to Android version. So this Android version within this class is equal to the argument or whatever it is that is passed in here. So that's how we're going to mutate this attribute. Now we are done. So we can actually go over here. I'm just going to add a default constructor down at Samsung also so that we don't get any errors when we don't have any arguments. So we can say public Samsung and leave it like this. So now we're not getting any errors, but now I want to add in something. As you can see, we're getting an error here when we try to add one argument because we don't have a constructor for one argument. So we can actually add as many constructors as we want in a class. So that's another thing I wanted to tell you guys. So you can add one argument, you can add 2 argument constructor or 3, it doesn't matter, it's all up to you. So here I can say, if we go back here, we need to add in a cell phone or like the cell phone name. So we can say Samsung Galaxy S12. And what else do we have? The color, we can say black. What else do we have? 48 megapixel. Let's just say that. I don't know what it is, guys, but I'm just gonna say 48. And the last thing was the Android version. Oh my gosh, I think it's 9. Version 9. I'm just gonna say V9. And I'm going to run this. And you're gonna see something interesting. We get name, Samsung Galaxy and whatever, and then we get color, black, we get megapixels 48 MP, and we don't get the Android version. Why don't we get that? Because of the ToString method. Here we're supposed to have a ToString method. So what do we do when we want to get the ToString method? This already has a ToString method, right? The one that outputs something like this, but now we want one for the Samsung only. So we can just say public string ToString again, and then instead of just saying instead of writing the whole thing over again, we can say super dot ToString. Now it's going to call this the ToString, this whole method. It's going to call this whole method. Is going to do the exact same thing that is output inside this method, and then you can add your own thing again at the end. So we should actually return this. So we return super.toString. plus our own new thing like megapixel, what, Android version actually. Android version, is it equal? Yeah, yeah, like that. And now we go back to the main method and we try to run that, and you'll see the output. Let's let it run for a while, and we get here Android version is equal to whatever it is equal to. And just for readability purposes, we can just add a comma down here, and we'll run this again, and we'll actually get a comma here so that we can see things clearly. Yeah, so Android version is equal to v9 or version 9. I think there's a version 11 or 12, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's what it is, guys. That's what it is. And that's the basics of inheritance. If I missed something, I'm gonna come back to it on the next video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and share it to your friends.